So nice to be here. This is great. This isn't my first time in Tucson, but it was my first time playing in a haunted house. So that's pretty exciting. That's where my career's at right now. You know, last night I played in a basement in downtown Phoenix, a desert area that shouldn't have a basement. And they had a basement that we went to through an alley, and tonight we're in a haunted house. This is great. It's wonderful. I love it. By the way, big fan. I love it. This is exactly why, I like hipsters. This is what they do. You know? Like, most people would look at this and be like, tear it down. Tear it down. We're going to make a sharp-angled condo out of this. And not hipsters. Hipsters are like, we can turn this into a hotel. And a music venue. And a bar. And another bar. And a coffee shop. And a bar. More bars. What if you can drink everywhere? Exactly what they did. And I love it because everyone who works here is an authentic hipster. They're not the fake ones who just got the ears for no reason. You know, they weren't trying to fit in. They got them. They're real hipsters. Like, they're polite and not polite all at the same time. That's a real hipster. Real hipsters have customer service and bad customer service in the same sentence. That's how it is. We checked in, they smiled through a mask. I could tell because the crinkles in the eyes. That's how you can tell when someone smiles with the mask on. And they're like, welcome, and here's the rules. But polite, but rules, and then I'm like, I have a question, and he was gone. So it was like a mixture of welcome and unwelcome, and I like that. That's probably how this place was in the 30s, you know? I think it was nice when John Dillinger showed up here. I called him Don Dillinger because I had one cocktail. That's where I'm at. I'm a lightweight. I'm not eating any bread, so all it takes is one cocktail. You ever not eat bread for a day, and then you're like, oh, I get drunk from sniffing a drink. You need that bread. It's so good. But yeah, it's nice we're staying at the hotel, my fiance and I. We didn't know anything about it, other than it's a cool-looking old classic building. And then while we're in the room, it's just a tiny room with a bed and a little desk. It looks like someplace like Bukowski got drunk and wrote, you know? That's what it looks like up there. And I'm like, ooh, this is artsy. And then we sat down and then quickly found out there's no plugs. There's no... Do you need to charge anything? Well, then you don't. All right? I'm telling you, you don't. There's no plugs. And then she's like Googling the hotel. She's like, this place is cool. And she's like, oh, it says this is one of the most haunted places in the entire country. And I'm like, huh? And I go, how haunted? And she's like, well, there's like a Wikipedia page for like each room, pretty much. And she starts going down the room numbers, going, yeah, you'll wake up with a lady on your bed on that one. This one will lock you in the bathroom. And she's like, I'm waiting for our room number. That's all I'm waiting for. And I'm like, because there's no, you know what's worse than being in a haunted house? Is being in a haunted room. Because where do you go? You know? Like, there's no like, oh, maybe that's just a shadow. There are no shadows. You're in a small, everything's here, you know? You just gotta run out of there. That's terrifying. And there's no TV. That's usually my defense. I've stayed in places that I assumed was haunted. I stayed at a hotel in Aiken, South Carolina. And I walked in, it looked old, and I asked the lady behind the counter, she's a very nice southern lady. And I was like, when was this place built? She's like, it was built in 1898. And I was like, wow, that's pretty old. I'm like, is it haunted? She's like, well. And I'm like, I'm looking for a hard no right now, man. I'm looking for a stern, you're fine. And she gave me a very loose, well. So that night, I spent the entire night with SportsCenter on the TV, because in my mind, that will keep the ghosts away. In my mind, the ghosts will come by like, oh, he's still watching sports highlights. We'll have to catch him later. There's no TV up there. They're gonna know. Yeah? They're gonna know. We're just ready to be terrified. I wonder, it must be fun being a ghost. You know, because it's not always just scaring people. You just get to watch people when they think they're not being watched. You know, you ever have one of those moments where you got the house to yourself, you're just naked, dancing in front of the mirror, and then your significant other walks in, and you're like, hey, what? I thought Tuesdays were my day, you know, like, that's what ghosts get to see all the time without the interruption. Just like, wow, that's where you're taking this, okay. Like, before I came down, my fiance was helping me put Vaseline on my taint, because I worked out this morning. We ran on the treadmill and we had breakfast afterwards, so all my sweat dried while I was sitting and I got a little rash in the taint. And then I'm like, how am I supposed to do this show? These people are expecting me to be all suave and I got a rashy taint. So there I am, just doing like a yoga pose in the bed. She's just putting a little bit of Vaseline on my taint and I'm like, John Dillinger's in the corner right now. This is why I won't leave. This is why I stay. Like I'm gonna go to boring ass heaven or hell and I'm staying right here. Watch a grown man lube up his tank. It's the dry hair. Alright. It's a good week. I watched the Dahmer series. You guys watch the Dahmer series on Netflix? Yeah, wasn't that amazing? That was so good. It was such a good show. I know you're not allowed to, like, you can't be too excited about the show. You gotta keep, like, a temperate. It was a good program. It's not like we were there with popcorn going, yeah! Kept it fine, and we went, okay. It's a good show, man. I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but the soundtrack was amazing. I don't know if anyone said that about the Dahmer series, but it was all like 80s dance music. I was like, yeah. Man, if this was like 97, I'd go to Tower Records and buy this CD to the Dahmer series. Having house parties? Put on the Dahmer. That's, get this party jumping, The main actor did an amazing job. He was so good. Evan Peters, I think is his name. I'd never seen him before, and he did such a good job as Jeffrey Dahmer. He gave him a little bit of a Napoleon Dynamite flavor. Did you feel that too? It was like Jeffrey Dahmer if Jeffrey Dahmer was also Napoleon Dynamite. Like, he was a crazed killer, but also when people would call him out, like, Jeffrey, you need to get a damn job. It's like, all right, Dad, jeez. Just like a little bit of Napoleon Dynamite in there. But he did an amazing job. I'm not knocking the actor. Killed that. I mean, he did a great job. That wasn't even. That was an accident that ended up working out. And some of you guys caught that. You're like, we're not laughing at that stupid pun. I don't know. I was thinking about the audition process for the Dahmer series. Like, if you ever think about like the other actors that were almost Dahmer but they didn't get the job, you know? Is there ever like a role that you're like kind of okay not getting, you know? Like after your third callback audition and then they just don't pick you and you're like, you know, I'm actually happy they don't think I'm right for that role. Doesn't that make you feel good in your heart? You're like, that's good. You know, what a positive thing. And then the actor they did pick, they had to let him know nicely. You couldn't just say, magnificent, you know? You were born for this role. You had to let him know easy. He did a great job. In the first episode, he's like dancing on the dance floor. I don't know if you guys watch him in the opening scene. He's at a gay bar and he's just dancing to like late 80s music. And I don't know if you realize how hard of a job that is for an actor. He had to decide how to dance like a serial killer. There's no video to reference of how Jeffrey Dahmer danced. He just had to decide. He's like, how does a serial killer do you understand they don't teach that at Juilliard? Like, there's no spring semester NYU course on serial killer dancing, late 80s. He just had to figure that out. I was impressed by it. I feel like a lot of you were like, yeah, whatever. It's pretty impressive. I like the serial killer stuff. Do you have a favorite serial killer, sir? Yeah, you do? Who's your favorite? Oh, you don't know? I got a favorite. You have a favorite? Ted Bundy? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. He made the unibrow sexy. Everyone thought Ted Bundy was attractive. I looked at his photos and it was just a full mustache. Not even just full. I'm like, man, 70s, the bar was low to be attractive.
You just come in like a caveman, and women were like, hell yeah. Yeah, right that on in. You know? I like John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne Gacy, he killed like 33 people over 2 decades while also running a successful construction company. And you're like, wow, what a loser I am, you know? He got so much done. Like, he got so much done. He's a business owner. He runs a business and then at night, and then gets away with it. Like, wow. Wow, impressive. He was able to lure young men over to his house because he had a pool table and some marijuana. That's all it took in the 70s. That's how boring the 70s was. You could go up to a 19-year-old kid and be like, you want to come over? I got a pool table and some weed. And they'd be like, say no more. That wouldn't work today, right? Like if John Wayne Gacy was around today, went up to some 19-year-old kid and like, hey, you want to come over? I have a pool table and some marijuana. The kid would be like, I have a smartphone. And I'm microdosing on shrooms as we speak. Like, I don't think you have anything for me, old man. Can't impress me. It's a bummer, though. I like the Dahmer series. I like all the serial killer documentaries. They're fascinating because they're different from us. They wouldn't do what us normal people would do. And you're like, I want to know why. But it's scary because like, I'm bummed we're running out of serial killers. They've already done all the documentaries. They've already done them all. Serial killing, that's an old-timey thing. That's old-timey. That's 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We don't have serial killers anymore. Now we have mass shooters. And those guys are lame. That's going to be a lame-ass documentary. Because mass shooters, mass shooters are a great depiction of today's society. Everyone wants to be famous, but no one wants to put in the work. You know? The serial killers put in the work. John Wayne Gacy got a pool table. He had marijuana. He learned magic. It's a dark joke, and the people that are laughing, you were right. And the people that aren't laughing, you're also right. Okay?